Pottery friends. It's been a while. My friends, they're there. They accompany me through the day, asking for peanuts. Not getting any anymore. They already had their breakfast. Wow, it's good to be back. It was a horrible 3 weeks. Oh, what's that? I don't know. I've spoken about our fantastic power network. They had issues with the main cable, and we've been in and out of power. It was so bad that they decided, no, they didn't decide, they had to, because they couldn't distribute the power, which already isn't enough because they didn't anticipate Bonaire growing this much, which they should have. Everybody knew it, except of course our one and only utility company. Oh, I was so mad. Stupid excuses, but I'm not going to go into that. But main problem, main cable couldn't distribute. So we were on some kind of disaster/war schedule, which meant we had to divide the power. So that meant that I was here in this neighborhood for somewhere between 4 to 6 hours without any power during the day. And then I got power back to provide power to other neighborhoods. They had a schedule posted, which was not the schedule that they had in real time. So we could not anticipate on anything. They also did that at night. The hottest time of year, because of all the tropical waves coming from the coast of Africa that give the hurricanes. We are fairly safe concerning the hurricanes, but the tropical waves still suck away our wind. So heat index goes through the roof every year, always in September, and we know that. And that's when the power goes out, and that's when you wake up at night floating out of your bed, sweating, because your AC and or your ventilators aren't working anymore. I didn't sleep well for nights. I was in our little pool. We have a little pool you can't swim, but you can, have a nice dip. And my hubby and me were in that pool in the middle of the night to cool off, just not to get a heat stroke at night. I lost my mojo. I was bad mood, ornery. Ugh. So I did some sewing, did other things. I did that the last couple of days. I've had 24-hour power now for about 5 days. So this is the first time I'm actually firing my kiln. It's a bisque fire. I had no fun anymore in the studio, but that never lasts long, right? If you love clay, you love clay. It'll always come back. So I'm back. I also accepted an offer to do a one-time market in town at our so-called arts and crafts market. It's a tourist market. It's not big. It's there when there are cruise ships. There's a lot of made in China on that market, although it's called an arts and crafts market. But I'm going to do that just once to see what happens. I'm not going to go there every time. So, we'll see what happens. But that also meant that I had to think about what to make, because it's all cruise ship tourists. And then I get into this conundrum of having to make things instead of making what I want to make as an artist. That conundrum. I can usually, find my rhythm in that with making mugs because I know they will sell, and then making something for me because I want to make it, which sometimes sells, sometimes doesn't, but that's fine. And now I had to think about that, and I already was in a bad mood. I did make some, but now I'm going to have to do a whole catch-up thing with farming because that market is in 4 weeks. And anything else to complain about? Oh yeah, some private things, but you know, that's none of your business. I'm back, I'm here. And one of the things I want to make for that market, because there are all cruise ship tourists, so they do not have humongous suitcases and big or enough space. So I have to, or I think I do, make small things. I've made small dishes, blah 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 blah, and I'm now going to make small bud vases, the wonky ones that you have seen in a previous kiln opening. If I remember, I will link that video at the end of this video. And I thought I'm going to make them, so yeah, why not follow along? So let's do that, okay? I have a slab here, and I will adjust the camera and yeah, show you how I do them. See you in a bit. Jeez, it's been so long. Lou, I don't remember how I used to adjust the camera, but I guess this is fine. It's my slab. I've already made 2, just to make sure I remember how to. This is a combination of Laguna 390 and 310. They are essentially the same clay. One has grog, one hasn't. It's my reclaim. And that's how I make, that's what I'm working with today. It's a 1/4 inch thick. And if you've ever made, my brain still isn't working. If you've ever made Christmas angels, this is going to be similar. I usually make these cute little Christmas angels the way Tiffany from Hobble Creek Pottery has made them and showed us in a video last year. And this is approximately the same thing. It's a triangle. I do not have a template, but because in this case the triangle is going to be a little bit longer or taller and a little bit slimmer. I don't have any of those bud vases anymore. I'll pop in a picture so you can see what I'm going to do. Oh, what I made the last time. Yeah, it's similar to making those Christmas angels, and the fun part actually is in the decorating with the slips. I'm going to use, of course, my colored slips and some masking techniques, so stay tuned. I'll just walk you through this first part. I think most of you know how that goes. I like them to be a little bit wonky. Now, as you maybe or maybe not know what Picasso once said, you know, learn the rules and then you can break them. You do have to know what you're doing and have to really attach well, just like if you would make, oh, there they go, they're leaving, bye bye. If you would make a very nice tube. I like them a bit wonky, so I'm going to cut a triangle. Just, you know, by now I know approximately, oh, this is going to be a bigger one, I can already tell, but that's fine. So I like them to be a little bit wonky, so they're not perfect, they're not straight. That's perfectly fine with me. I will switch around these two so you can see what I'm doing. Hold on, go. I hope you can see. This is that little slab that I just cut out. I will bevel the edges. This tool is so handy dandy. One on this side, flip it over, one on this side. Now this is still fairly wet. It was, when I wedged it up, it was even softer than when clay comes out of the bag because it's reclaimed. It is now stiffened up a little bit, so it's a little bit easier to work with. Just, you know, do what you always do with your clay. You know your clay best. I am going to slip and score. Don't always have to when it's this wet, but just to be sure, because they're going to be tall and skinny, and I don't know, and I cannot really reach in very well to connect the seam. Flip it over. And when I coax this into the round, it helps to make the edges stick to each other. Do I have my, yeah, I will usually start with a big dowel. Oh, it has stiffened up a bit. And I will sort of coax it, and not just fold it, because you will get many cracks. You can always, you know, fix that later, but so that's my first step. I go fairly fast because I do not want them to be perfect, and every now and then, you know, I guess we all have that. Some part of us is a perfectionist, and that's just what I don't want for these. I want to let that go a little bit. Oh, this one is getting a bit tall. I can cut it off. See what I'm coaxing it bit by bit, so I don't crack the clay too much. And at some point they will touch. And then, because of the slip, hopefully, it will stick. And it will go wonky all by itself. There we go. You can see it cracking, right? I'll cut that off. And then I tend to make them with the top at least this wide for the 1 or 2 flowers that can go in there. This is already good enough. I think he's too tall, but I'll do this first. I take another dowel that fits, so I can put a little bit more pressure on that seam. Smooth it out a bit. And then I'll flip it and smooth it if I have cracks from the bending. I do not this time. So that's good. There we go. I'm going to cut off the top. It's too big now for me. Something like that. And this one is a bit wider than I anticipated, but you know, that's what I like. I want them to sort of kind of come into existence and not be forced in a certain way. What am I hearing? Oh my word, look at that. These parrots are getting so, oh, come on. They, you know, don't care anymore. We had a racket yesterday here. Racket. What's the right word? Well, it was funny. My husband also started to like the parrots. He was in our pool yesterday feeding the parrots, and there were 12 of them sitting on the edge of the pool. It was hilarious. But that also means I do not have any peanuts anymore. Okay, inside also done. I did cut a little square, and I'm going to put some slip on the bottom, put it on there, take it off, and now I have the circle that I need. I'm going to cut that out all a little bit, you know, a bit fast. I was Oh, I don't know if I've ever told you that. I am a trained art therapist. And what I sometimes used in my therapy sessions with people that have control issues, make them work fast. Because then you have to let go of control. And because I don't want these to be perfect, fast is the way to go. A little bit of scoring. Oh, I can still hear a parrot. A little bit of slip. Let's see. This, of course, has to fit because we do not want it to leak. Let's see. I didn't make a mark, so I have to find how it fits best this way. Da, da, da. This is actually, that's so funny. I have already made two. And then I turn on the camera and I make the biggest one I've ever made. It's weird. We'll do another one. And then I will connect this, of course. On this one, I could actually maybe even reach in with a stiff brush. Don't think I have to. Yeah, I hear you. I will smooth that out a bit. These are going to be covered with slip, so doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, these are not going to be perfect, which is a challenge. Are you kidding me? Are you now going to sit on my ventilator? You are crazy. Well, no peanuts. There we go. Oh, I don't know if you saw that. And I will round off the bottom to give it its bevel. Can you see? That's also very handy dandy for having a bevel. It looks better and it helps with drippy glazes. Oh, I'm already being too perfect. Nope, not going to do that. I need a little sponge, a damp sponge. In here. Et voila, that's it. And you can, of course, if you want to, you know, give it a funky shape. And now you can go all out on these. I will put this one away and make another one. I'll be right back. This time I have cut my triangle elongated, not so wide on the bottom, which will give it a totally different shape. Well, totally different. No, that's not true. But it will be skinnier. Bevel it. Slip and score. No, score and slip. A little bit of scoring. A little bit of slip. Which is the same clay, by the way, but very wet. My bigger dowel for the first part. And now I can set it upright and get, oh, you see, it's already going wonky, and that is also depending on how you cut the bottom. I just cut, don't think about it, no ruler, and let it develop on its own. Coaxing bit by bit to prevent cracking. It's a little bit like throwing a donut on the wheel, you know. Coax it slowly, and when they touch, they will stick. There we go. Oh, I have some cracking this time. My smaller dowel. No, this is too small. Well, for me. So I will stick this dowel in. Oh, I have an itch. I will stick this dowel in. Oh, no, that's not going to work. It's too small. Cut a little bit off. Stick it in there. Twist it. And it will, I will have at least that opening. I will just have to, you know, cut off a little bit. I'm not being perfect today. It can be so liberating not being perfect. Go. That's the seam, and I have cracks. I'll smooth these out. I twist it and have it laying on the dowel so I can put a little pressure. There we go. This needs to be sorted. Sure. Spin your wheel and then lift your vase so it doesn't spin. That's a good one. Here we go. A little damp sponge. Oh, where is it? Yeah. Oh, I didn't do the inside. Still have to do that. A tool and just, you know the drill. Connect that the two parts, seal that seam as far as you can. Oop, another crack. Alrighty, bottom. See how wonky it is? I'm not going to put that into shape. Now I can see where I'm going to cut. Slipping. I have a straight side here, so it's easier to find the correct way, but it was meant to be. Ta-da! Oh! There's a lot of slip coming out. I take that off first, because that way it's easier to do this. It's not as slippy as slidey. Slippy and slidey. Technical term. Now, if you have done this before, you will know and feel when it's connected. You know, maybe one or two will crack, who cares? But if you've done this before, you know. And that's what I meant with learn the rules and then you can break them. Hope that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking nonsense. There's my bevel. And there's another wonky vase. I am so tempted now to cut this off. That. But I'm not going to. Give it a bit of a attitude. There we go. Yeah. So that's the fast part. It's, you know, it's easy. It's fun. And now I'm going to get out my slips and my masks and have some fun with color. See you soon. Okay, folks. I'm in the middle of, you know, reviving some of the slips I want to use. If they dry out, I just take spray bottle, spray, mix, and we're good to go. Took a break. Cup of coffee, you know. Stupidly enough, took a look on Facebook. Shouldn't have done it. And there is now a power outage at my neighboring neighborhood. Fingers crossed. I'm going to flip out and scream on YouTube. But nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. Alrighty. Let's get to the fun part. I have made a couple. I have put them away in my dry room, damp box, my old refrigerator, Jimmy's. I'm pointing. It's out there somewhere. And I've picked one. And I'm going to decorate it with colored slips and masks. Or the masking technique. I have some slips here. I have 4 colors. There's a whole video out there talking about slips, how I make them with mason stains and why. It's cheaper than object glazing. I'll link that somewhere at the end of this video. And then you can also get to my Ko-fi page for a free PDF for all my recipes. The ones that I use most. 44-ish, I think. So, you know, just that it's out there. Go get it. Masking. It's different than stenciling. Stenciling is a stencil where you push a color through, whether it's paint or underglaze or a colored slip. Masking is masking a part off so you don't get the color there, and you can play with that. The only thing is you need to work in your brain. You have to work it the other way around. You have to first put on the things on the foreground and then work into the background. I talk a lot more about that in my video about Bob. Bob is a turtle I made a long time ago. It's out there somewhere, but I'll show you. Don't worry, I will show you. I just use regular newspaper. There is a newspaper, well, 2 actually, that come out here every 2 weeks. They are those free newspapers, and once the 2 weeks is over and there are still some left over, I take a few with me, and that's what I use. I am going to cut out my masks, but I'm going to keep it very simple. Perfection is out of the window in this one, and this is how I do it. I fold it over a couple of times. Oh, I want the letter part, not this, because it distracts me more. Fold it over once, twice, 3 times, I don't know. And I'm going to make a simple one first, this one. Some flowers and some grasses, just, you know, to keep it in. Why do that? Put it up. You can't see what you do. You can draw something on there, or you can just freehand it. This is folded over a couple of times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I will have 8 of the same thing after I've cut them out. This is very tiny, so I'm not going to make them very small. Hop. It's my children's drawing. You can put some tape around the edges if you want to. If you do that, you can keep it, and then you also have the stencil. I'm not sure if that is clear. Hold on, let me show you something. I have a whole bag of masks. These are bigger ones, but I also have the opposite, the negative. And this I once used for a bigger project. Yeah. I folded over newspaper. I taped it around all sides. And this is the, can you tell? It's the hummingbird that is on one of my pieces of my totem that is still in the works. So I cut out a hummingbird and I kept this as a stencil. Who knows, maybe I'll use it someday. For these little ones, I don't. I'd rather cut new ones every time. It's more fun. But if you make bigger things, yeah, save it. I'm going to cut out my little children's drawing of sort of kind of flower. Doesn't really matter. I'm not following the lines actually. I'm just cutting out a shape. It might turn out to be a cloud instead of a flower. But as we say, perfection is not in the house today. So now I have 8 of these little thingies. As I want the flowers to be in the foreground, this is what I do first. I have a little thingy here to put them in, because even though we do not have a lot of wind, these will blow away. I have chosen a pink and a red, and I'm now going to see where do I want these flowers. I put the color on first and then mask it off. I know, it's weird. A little bit of pink. I have my slip fairly thick for this, so I have to put on only 1 layer. And a little bit of red. I don't mind the mixing. I might even encourage that. I don't think I have enough flowers for this. Let's mix it up a little bit. Why not? There we go. And now I'm going to stick them on. Wet my finger, get in there. I'm going to stick them on. See, almost no wind, and still, well, I guess I have 7 now. Put one there. I'm just pushing it into that color I just put on. Oh, other way around. Like that. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, I guess this is good. If you make these small vases, it gets a bit finicky. It's just what it is. So now, I recommend, if you do something like this, to count them. Will they burn off, if you forget one, will they burn off in the kiln? Yes. But it will leave, it can leave sharp edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I want some grasses in there. So here we go again. I will just, The nice part of this is that you don't have to paint all these parts separately. You stick them on there and they're there. Because if I had to paint all these little flowers on a little bud vase like this, I don't think I would like that very much. I have a couple of little you know, a wavy thingy. I call it grass today. In here, I have two greens. This is jade, and the other one is a mixture of two greens. I'm going to again mix that up a little bit. I did, by the way, I get this question often. I did wait a little bit until these were stiffened up some more because the clay was so wet this morning, because it reclaimed, you know, straight from, wetter than straight from the bag. Oh, I'm not doing it right. I'll show you. Hold on. I want the grass to come up to the flowers. I don't know if I can. Yeah, of course I can. That's one color. A little bit more of this color. And down here, this will be the last layer. So I'm covering everything. A little bit of that, a little bit of this. Oh. See what I've done? So now I'm going to put on my grasses. And to give them some definition, you need to cover it with another layer or else you won't see it. It will happen. I'm just sticking it in there. One. Where's the other one? Let's see. It doesn't have to be exact. I'll make one shorter. Whoops. Oh well, it folds. It's fine. If they don't stick, just wet it. Oh, don't go. Stay here. Put this one on a bit crooked. A short one. Okay. Are we taking another green? I might. I was wrong. It's not the last layer. I need one more layer to make sure that these will show up. Let me count first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay down. What will I do? Okay, I'm going to use my jade and go over it. Then my next layer of grasses will be dark. We will have probably some floating flowers. that's fine. So I'm now going to make some taller grasses. I'm just, you know, cutting something out that I think is grass. There they are. Sometimes you can easily see where the other ones are. If they are too long, I like to keep it that way, fold it under so I can find that one and peel it off from there. That's a tall one. Whoop. Put it up there. Put one there. Oh, that's right across that one. Nope. Next to it, please. Thank you. They will overlap, which is fun. Makes it look good. One, two, three, 4, 5. I want more. I want more. 6. 7. I want that last one too. 8. So 8. 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I'm going to go over with the lighter color. Alrighty. Now I'm going to put in the background in the sky. I know it's the other way around, but I'm going to put in the background in the sky, which I didn't open it up yet. Is a turquoise. And I'm covering the flowers because I still need to have them covered so they will show up. Now this is the last layer, so you want to make sure you know where your sky, or you decide where your sky ends and your grasses are in the sky or not. I usually do the top as well. Now this looks like a hot mess. And it is. I may have pulled that down too low, but we'll see what it looks like when we take off the paper. I'm going to let this dry so the colored slip doesn't stick to my fingers anymore. It's for me at the moment it's just a few minutes, so I'll be right back. So here we go. It's dry enough that the slip doesn't stick to my fingers anymore. And now we go for the big reveal, yeah? I have 8 big leaves, grasses to pull, 8 big ones. Well, we'll see. That's 1. That's 2. that's the small one. 5, come on, 6, 7 and 8, and there's one there. That's 9. Can you see what's happening? 10, 11, come on, 12, hold on, 8 and 6, is that 12? No, it's 14, right? So I need 2 more. Okay, let's see if I can find them. I'm looking, but not seeing. Oh boy. There must be one here somewhere. Let's poke at it with a pin tool. I think there's one here. No, there's not. There's one. I can't find the last one. Okay, well, let's see. Don't forget, I need one more piece of grass to come off. And now I'm going to find the flowers. There's one. Oh, I hope I was on camera. I'm sorry. I can see one here. There's one. How much did I have? 5. I can see one there. I love how that, you know, if you take 2 colors and smear them, that's so cute. Is this one? Yep. That's 3, 1, 2, 3. There's one. Two, 3, 4. Where do we think the other one is? There it is. Or isn't it? No, it's not. Messed up my sky. Okay. Uh-oh. Ah, got it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm good. Now because I was poking it with my pin tool, I can see a little bit of pink coming through. I will fix that in a second. I need to find that last grass thing. Let's get stronger glasses. Is it here? can't see it. Did I count wrong? You know, I'll check these later. Maybe I already have them. Cleaning up that bottom where I've poked it. Well, so far so good. Not done yet, because I want to do some Mishima in here. I will first fix that with a little bit of slip. All good. And because I want to do some Mishima, I made one earlier and I hope that one is dry enough so I can show you. I'll make another one. Put this one aside. The bigger one, that was for me anyway, the only one where I could do some flamingos on. A layer of pink here, masks of these flamingos on there, and then I did the sandy bit and the air bit, and I dabbed on a little bit of white slip, just a slip without any color, for some clouds and a little bit of where the sea and the sand connect. Instead of cutting the funky very thin legs of the flamingo, I cut it like this. I have one here still left over. I have more than one. Oh, come on, come on, come on. This is what I cut. And I will, with Mishima, I will divide this in a set of legs instead of one very thick one. So I'm going to put some wax on there. I have tried this one out. The last time I bought wax, it's perfectly fine wax. However, it's a bit, you know, I don't want to have to stick my brush in there every time, so I put a little bit in a small bowl. And also, what I didn't like about this one is that this lid doesn't close, so some plastic over top and then screw the top back on and it will stay good. Okay, well, this is not the most interesting thing, but I'm going to have to wax this, just this part, but I do go from top to bottom because I want to wipe away excess slip later. That's a bit thick. Okay. And I also want to do some Mishima on this one, on the flowers at least, so I'm going to put some wax on this one too. There we go. So now we have to wait again a few minutes before these are, well, at least the wax is dry. Grabbed another one. Still a bit soft, but okay. I think on this one I'm going to do some bright colored fishes on a dark blue background. So I'm going to have to wash my brushes and get some other colored slips. Back again. I have waited until it was a little bit less. Excuse me again. I've only had water. My word. When it got less tacky, I put on some extra slipwear. I was just smearing it around, you know, being impatient. But now I'm going to take off the fish masks. Let's see. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I got them all. Now I will wait a little bit more, then wax it, and I'll come back with Mishima. Okay, I have changed the camera because I wanted to do this flat, and now I see I should have had this maybe all the time. Sorry, I have to get back into the swing of things. While the other one is still drying a little bit, on this one the wax has dried. This pot had already dried a little bit, so I can do my Mishima. I am only going to do an outline with black. So I'm taking one of my smaller stylus, although this is no longer stylus, it's flat. That one. And it's a camper. I've heard they've gone out of business. They've sold their stuff. I don't know where it is now. If somebody knows, put it in the comments. So I'm going to create an outline around these flamingos. Again, perfection is out of the door, so I'm going to do it hopefully fast, and then I'm going to lay that in with a black slip. Now there's one thing. I have used this remix reclaim, so there can be a little grog in here, which is for making outlines maybe not the best. They could come out a little rough on the edges, so to speak. Smooth clay is better, but I'm going for it anyway. Here we go. Can you? Yeah, I think you can see what I'm doing. So I'm now carving through the wax into the clay, and I will put in black slip in there. I leave those little burrs for now, take them off later if I can be so patient, because I don't want to have them stick back on there. Let's do this one. Can you see what I'm doing? I hope so. There we go. I'll take a brush. Let's see. I'm not patient. Oh, they'll come up. That one doesn't. I have to learn to be patient. Okay, let's get my black slip. And I'm going to put it in there. There it is. So far, I'll let that dry a little bit. Spray some water in my black slip, because I can do this one too. Okay, final stage. Bucket of water, soft sponge, and I'm going to wipe off the excess. Now that is probably not the most interesting thing to watch, although it's nice to see how the outline comes out. But I will probably speed this up a little bit, or I don't know, maybe do something else with it. But do stick to the screen, because I'm going to create a title role for all you gorgeous, lovely people who have supported me on my coffee shop, and of course those who bought me a coffee for the PDF, or just bought me a coffee because, or are subscribed for a monthly donation. You are the best. You keep me and my Mason stain addiction going. So I'm very grateful. You will see your screen on your name. Yes, no, your name on your screen. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Here we go. Let's see how this turns out. I'll go over them with you one by one. Some things I want to point out. On this one you can clearly see that the lines are not very clean. They are a bit rough, and that is because of me using my reclaim. So there is fine grog in there, so that will happen. The other thing, and you can see it on this one right there. I hope you can, come on, focus. Am I giving you the right one? Yeah, that one. Can you see that little white line in the blue? I hope so. And here's another one. Oh, here you can see it. I like it. It just happens while wiping away the excess black slip. And I think it's because this wax, although it's fine, it's not that tough. It wipes off easily. Maybe you can, it helps if you wait longer before you start wiping away. I don't have the patience to do that. I used to use Amoco's wax resist. It didn't do that much. On the other end, I always had to put food coloring in the Amoco wax resist. I used to anyway, because you couldn't see where it was. I think it's different now. I think it has a color now, but I'm not sure. So yeah, this is the funky fishes, and let's go to the flowers. This is even more, well, you know, let's call it rustic. Don't know what happened here and here. Could be from wiping away too vigorously, but I love them. They're not perfect, and yeah, these sessions of not being too perfect are just so yeah, they're inspiring. They're get you out of a rut. I don't know how to explain it. It's lovely. One more. What? I keep talking. Sorry. One more little tip. If you have pieces in your kiln, let's say you have a couple of mugs or maybe bowls or something of a certain height, and you have spaces left over, especially with bowls, right? You can make these to fit in those little spaces in your kiln. So they're perfect kiln fillers as well. Do I have anything else to say? Yes, one more thing, I promise. Kiln is still firing, we're still good. This is a bisque kiln. It's pretty full. I will have at least 2 glaze firings out of that, and I have some things inside that need to be glazed. So I'll be glazing a lot in the next coming days. After those firings, I can finally pick out some pieces for a restock on my Ko-fi page. I have promised that a while ago. It still hasn't happened, and it's going to have to happen. So I'll keep some things aside and put them in the shop. So in the next coming weeks, you can expect not really a restock. It's the first time I'm going to do it on Ko-fi shop. I already know how it works, and I've tried it, and it seems to be working fine. And if you are a monthly member on my Ko-fi shop, you get first dibs. So you get to see it 1 or 2 days before the rest of the world. So yeah, that's my promise to you. But I'll have to, I'm behind in all kinds of ways and manners with my videos and with my firings, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, a couple of weeks and it'll be there. In the meantime, get some clay under those fingernails, some paint in your hair, or dance like you're all alone and nobody sees you. Be creative, make a beautiful meal, write some poetry. Creativity is so good for your soul. It's not only good, it's necessary. And it will get you out of every rut you're in. So get creative one way or the other. Be kind to yourself and to others. And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you.